Hello, back again after I guess it's been about 4 or 5 weeks since I've been able to get to the theater after my little health incident. This is my first time going to the theater again, and I went to see Bad Times at the El Royale, which is kind of a bad name for a movie because when you think about it, Bad Times at the El Royale, it's basically saying Bad Times at the Royale. It should have just been called Bad Times at El Royale. Or Bad Times at the Royale. I don't. Semantics. The trailer to this movie turned off a lot of people. And I think that this weekend the movie has not performed very well. Now, the kind of trailer that was presented is exactly the kind of movie I like. I don't know how you would define this style of movie. A very frenetic, fast-paced, but at the same time drawn-out style film. I really like these kind of movies like this and Hell or High Water. There's just something to this. I don't know, it's like this new genre of film, and I really enjoy it. It's becoming like one of my favorite styles of film, like Hotel Artemis. I mean, I know thematically these are completely different movies, but stylistically it's very similar. So what did I think of Bad Times at the El Royale? I really liked it. I can't say I loved it. It wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be, but I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought all the performances were fantastic. I mean, everybody in this movie was just so good. John Hamm just steals the show. But the best performance is it's Jeff Bridges. I mean, it's a movie with Jeff Bridges in it. Of course, he's kind of been playing the same characters for like the last 10 years. And he's not just cowboy Jeff Bridges in this one like he's played in the last few movies he's been in, which I don't mind cowboy Jeff Bridges. This is going to be a very difficult movie to review because while there's no big shocking twist or thing that like makes you go in this movie, things are happening when things aren't happening, and I know that's kind of sounds weird, but even when it's just a drawn out shot of people having a conversation, there's constantly something happening. You know, this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and that is the one flaw that this movie has. This movie I could have shaved about 12 minutes of this movie off and it would have been the same exact movie. If I were to pick something that I didn't care for about the movie, that would be it. You coming up here to join me? This is Diana Kitty. Hey, I'm a kitty, look at me!
Hi everybody, I'm a kitty.
I'm a baby girl. God, I can't really talk about the plot of the film without giving away certain aspects. This is a movie that I'm going to wait for people to see it in probably like a year from now. Me and my buddy will do a drunk review of this movie and discuss some of the finer aspects of it because it is a complex film. There's a lot going on. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, and I don't want to ruin the experience for anybody. So really what I want to talk about more than anything is the filmmaking. This is one of the best directed films I've seen in a long time. A long fucking time. The director, I believe his name is Drew Goddard. He's the same guy who made Cabin in the Woods, which is a movie that I thought looked terrible, and then I watched it. I've probably seen that movie 20 times. Cabin in the Woods is like probably the best horror comedy since the Evil Dead films. Nope, I'll stand by it. Best horror comedy since Army of Darkness. Just believe it is. So it's the same guy. He co-wrote another big film, and I can't remember what it was, but his directing style is just like, wow. I mean, there's never nothing going on. And that's hard to do with a 2 hour and 20 minute film. And while I did just previously say I could have taken 20 minutes out of this film and still seen the same movie, I can't argue with why he made the movie the way he did. The opening shot of the film is incredible. It's just a hotel room. And the camera's back, we got a wide-angle shot. And I won't say who it is that's in the hotel room, because if you don't recognize him... This kitten is insane. A very funny guy, who's known for his comedy, is in the opening scene of this film. And it's kind of has a shocking ending. I mean, like, or a shocking conclusion to that scene. But it's a very uncomfortable scene, but not for the reasons you think it is. It's uncomfortable because you know something's going to happen, but nothing's happening. Nothing's really happening. And then, boom, it happens. And you're like, All right. So this movie makes you uneasy with its directing choices, the way it like spins the camera around. I'm sorry. It's just it constantly it never lets you ease up. Like there's never a point in this film where I was like relaxed in my chair, because every time that there's something, even just a conversation going on, the camera starts to move, goes this way, goes that way, or we'll shot, 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 or does the panoramic thing where like somebody's just walking through a parking lot and we just get a curving shot of them walking just to their car, and it never lets you get comfortable with how the filming goes. I love that because it's keeping you triggered. Like you don't have a chance to like tune that tone out of the movie. Like there's some movies I love, but they run a little too long, and I find my mind drifting during the middle of them. One that I don't know if I'll ever be able to review. It's a movie called, I think it was called Silence, and it had Andrew Garfield and Liam Neeson in it. And it's such a difficult movie to discuss because it's so fucking uncomfortable. But it's a fantastic film. But there were parts of it that I'm like, I start thinking about what I'm going to do later. Oh, hey, when I leave here, I'm going to go get some pizza. You know, stuff like that. No, I didn't have a chance to do that. So, do I recommend seeing this movie? Yeah. Yeah. This is not a movie for everybody. This isn't a movie like Avengers here that I would recommend everybody go see. I think there are people that are going to go into this thinking they're going to love it, and they're going to be disappointed. And there are some people that are going to be whatever about this movie and go into it and go, wow, all right, that was cool. Because I love it when a movie doesn't spell everything out for you. There's never... And I don't mind this in some films, because some films it works. I'm not against this in every movie, but I don't like it when a movie just gives us an exposition dump for the sake of, hey, let's catch you all up. Kind of like they make fun of that in Spaceballs. When they give the whole thing, and Darth Helmet looks at the camera and goes, everybody got that? You know, there's no moment like this in this movie. There are things that they don't even tell you. Like, I won't say what, but there's something concerning a film reel. And you can guess what's on this film reel. But it's never fully revealed what the reel really has on it, or why it's so important. But you can kind of guess. And if they make a sequel, or a prequel, or just something else in this universe, they can finish up that story then, and I'd be fine with that. So, Bad Times at the El Royale, solid B+. Even, you know what, when I have a chance to process this movie a little bit more, it might even move up to like an A-, because there are some movies that like I'll rate on my top 10 films of the year, and then I go back and watch and rewatch and go, you know what? Kind of like Last Jedi. I kind of gave Last Jedi not the greatest review. I've seen it a few times since then, and I think I was a little unfair to that movie. I think so now. I think that once I had a chance to sit in my home and watch it several times, I was like, okay, this movie should have been a little further up on my list. So I highly recommend seeing Bad Times at the El Royale. Now, got some really great trailers beforehand, but I don't want to talk about the trailers because if you get the same ones, I want you to be as surprised as I was, because there were some nice surprises in the trailers for this. Next week is what do we call it? Halloween 2018. I of all the Halloween films, I've liked all of them except for 3. I dug the Rob Zombie remake. I thought it was pretty good. I did not care for the Rob Zombie sequel. That movie, that whole party scene in the second act, movie stops dead for me. I couldn't get into it. That movie I've seen like 3 times now, and I don't care to ever see it again. I actually love Halloween Part 3. I know a lot of people hate Season of the Witch. I love that movie. Halloween 4 to me was always, of the original like Michael Myers films, was always the weakest to me. It's not that it's a terrible movie, it's just Part 2 and Part 5 were both so much better. Like, I really like Halloween 5. And I like the end of Halloween 4 a lot. And it gave us Danielle Harris, who grew up to be one of the best horror actresses like ever, and oh my god, I love her. But, and I hate the fucking Busta Rhymes one. Now, Busta Rhymes is awesome in that movie. The cast is great. It almost works as a horror comedy, but it's Halloween. It's not Freddy. You can't just insert comedy. It doesn't work like that. So, I don't know what to expect from the new Halloween film. I mean, the trailer looks good. Like, if you don't think about anything else, just look at that trailer. It's a pretty well done trailer. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's one of the greatest actresses of all time. And one last note here. there's like 5 people that have shown interest in going to see Halloween with me and reviewing the movie with me, which means probably I'll be doing it by myself because that's typically how that happens. But my buddy Jeremy currently is having issues with his work and things like that, and he's working when he shouldn't be, and he's just got a lot of shit going on right now. So right now I don't have a consistent movie-going partner to review these movies with, and I think that when I see a new movie, I think having somebody to banter off of, somebody to go off and on with in the review works better, because he may answer a question that I had, or he may say something that triggers me and I go, oh, you know what, I didn't notice that. So it's harder to do that when it's just by myself, and I like doing these by myself. But anybody out there that has Saturday mornings free or Sunday mornings free sometimes, and you live, I go to the Escape Cinemas in Northgate in Cincinnati, Ohio. If anybody's around and says, hey, why don't you, shit, dude, I'll go see a movie with you. Let's go. And let's review a movie. I review them back, well, I can't say Sears anymore because it's not Sears anymore, but where Sears used to be is where we always go and film those. So, 2 thumbs up, solid B+, maybe even move up to an A- for Bad Times at the Royale, and I will be back next weekend for Halloween